Okay, today is July 8th, 2025. We're going to do a test here. You can leave that door open. I got to go back.
I'm sorry.
I'm making a video. Just just stay out of the way because I got to work here.
Okay.
I don't want to talk, and then when I'm done, we'll talk.
Okay.
So this water heater was putting off carbon monoxide. When I came here yesterday, was putting off 3,900 parts and change. Now, I'm going to turn on my camera light here, the GoPro. So, I did a draft test here, and there was no draft. So what I did was a draft interference test, and my light's weak. And this was able to draft. There's plenty of air here. It was going the wrong way. So today's video, I haven't been making many, is going to prove that a flue liner, which this chimney has, does not assist with making a draft. And I'm going to show you this in a few minutes. I'll get right back to you. We're going to do the test. I'm going to run some hot water. So as you can see, I have my draft gauge in here. There's no draft. There's plenty of air in this place. So we're going to take the test with, excuse me, we're going to take the test with the I shut my lamp. So as you can see, this is going up to 113, 164, 170 parts per million. The oxygen's dry, going down, but it'll come back. And the parts per million are dropping, you see? Now, that's typical. So back here, we established a draft. You have 5 minutes. Now, I'm going to let this run. Set my timer for 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Counting down.
Now, the oxygen's fine. The parts per million are good. Okay, about 4748. So you watch the parts per million of this water heater, and I'll show you that all this nonsense about installing a liner. There's a guy in New York, the heating guy's full of crap. New York's code, that we're in Pennsylvania, Allegheny County. A flue liner does not warm or create draft. You're actually downsizing the chimney. The chimney has to be 2 times the size bigger. Okay, so we're at 5 parts per million. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this full tape to show you that the combustion air and draft are not corrected with this liner in this chimney. That the air is being directed other than where it's going. So by putting this tape temporarily, I made this safe. We connected this water heater to its flue draft pipe. And the air is being forced from the bottom. So we got a good oxygen level. We're about 2 parts per million, 3 parts, which is good. Now, you can see here, we got about a 0.2 draft water column. Steady. So there's plenty of air in here. There's makeup air in here. We close this door. This door's closed. This will still work. Okay. There's plenty of air. Now, by simply lifting this foil in opening the draft hood. We're going to fix this today. You can see that my draft has gone down, and it will continue to go down the more I take this tape, okay? Now, you see we're losing the draft. We're already at 500, 700, 800 parts per million. It's going up. I'll show you how much this goes up. So the one guy that's talking about this nonsense with the liners, stainless steel liners, it's all nonsense. And this is a residential water heater. Their carbon monoxide detector was going off. The heating company that put this in came and they couldn't figure it out. And I believe they actually have the NCI certification. Somebody was there that wasn't certified. So we're going up. You see the carbon monoxide. This can kill you. And it's climbing. No, that's a steady operational state. So we're going to pull this tape off here. So we got the draft hood fully open. You can see now, okay? Now look where we're at. We're going to steadily climbing up. 18, 15, 22. This is carbon monoxide and we have no oxygen. Okay? So we're going to stop this and we're going to shut this heater off. Which so now we've proven that a flue liner is not going to cure the drafting process. It doesn't make a chimney warmer. This is an air problem. The inside pressures and temperatures with the outside temperatures and pressures. I'm going to repeat this again, quoting the book. This chimney is a conduit. All this does is connect the inside temperature and pressures to the outside temperatures and pressure. It communicates. It's a duct. So, the liner does not make the chimney warmer. So if you're installing a liner in your area and they're telling you you need it, you're downsizing the chimney. The problem here was the air in this place with these rooms and corridors, there's plenty of air, okay, was not going the right direction. So by sealing this off, we connected this flue pipe to the water heater. We directed the air to go from the bottom of the combustion chamber of the water heater. Now, you can't leave this, so what we're going to do is we're going to take this off, put this to the water heater seal with a heating cock, put a 4-inch T with a gas barometric damper to adjust the draft and combustion air. It's going to regulate it and make sure that the draft is steady. And there'll be 2 spill switches wired in with the water heater. So as soon as I get this hooked up, I'll have another video of it and show you. So if you put these water heaters in and walk away, you're taking a chance. You should at least minimally be doing the draft test to verify you got a draft and carry a handheld carbon monoxide detector. And I also recommend taking a class at National Comfort Institute. There we go, everywhere. And you'll get yourself educated. So all this room in the air, there's plenty of air in here, was not sucking up, going up this chimney to pull the flue gas. So the liner does not make the draft or keep the chimney warm. Air, communication. So as soon as I'm done here, I'll have a short follow-up with a test. Okay, so we modified this. We got 2 spill switches, okay, and we're doing the test. We're burning 0 parts per million. This damper's working. And this is controlling the draft. What happened here was they have a roof fan. And the other people that were here, they didn't know what the heck was going on. So to be safe here, we're putting the damper and we're going to run the test again. Is the kitchen exhaust on?
I'll ask her.
So we're testing the, this is a ranch home. We're testing the kitchen exhaust and we're going to test.
It's on.
Okay, that's not doing anything. All right, now.
You know what? We have a fan for her bathroom, but we hardly ever use that.
Well, the fan's a bathroom fan. It's not powerful enough. Do you have different speeds on that ceiling fan?
Yeah.
What did you have it on, high?
I think maybe 110, maybe.
The speed of the fan. Can you adjust it?
I don't believe so. I'm just
Turn on this bathroom exhaust.
I'm just leaving it off.
Turn on this bath. You say it's 2.5 years old. Okay. The garage door's closed. So we're still...
Yes, everything's closed.
We're still at 0 ppm.
And we got the cooktop fans on and this fan.
It's burning 6.1 oxygen. So what happened here, when the exhaust fan and the roof come on, this thing was going negative. This was up to 4,000 parts per million now. I want you to shut the exhaust off in the kitchen. Are you able to, is there a breaker we can turn on that fan?
Which upstairs?
For the ceiling fan, yes.
I have, it's wired off with light, so I have a switch, on and off switch in the attic. It's off.
All right. I want you to your wife has to communicate. I want you to turn it on. I want to see what happens. And then we're going to shut it off.
Turn
the ceiling.
The roof fan.
Yeah. There's the roof fan, right.
I'll turn that on. Want me to turn it on now?
Yeah, but if I tell you to shut it off right away, you got to shut it off. So what happened here was we don't even need the thing, the weight. The guy almost killed himself here with this exhaust fan. They had another heating company here, and he didn't tell me that they had the exhaust. Apparently, I don't know what the hell is going on here. But we fixed it. It's on. You have it on?
Yeah.
Shut it off.
Shut it off.
Yes, shut it off.
It's off. It's off.
Okay. That's your problem, was the fan. That was the problem, was the exhaust fan. Are you sure? You telling me everything here, the truth? That you put that fan on 2 years ago?
Yeah, we've had one there.
Okay.
We had one there when the old roof was on.
This is a simple thing. I just visualized when you turn that fan on, it was taking the oxygen. Now close this door. I'm going to talk to your wife. I'm going to yell. I want you to close this door.
Are you going to yell?
Yeah. Now wait a second. Wait a second.
Okay.
I'll tell you when. I want you to turn on the exhaust fan. When I tell you to shut it off, shut it off. Turn on the exhaust. Just stay put. When I tell you to shut it off, shut it off. Shut it off. Okay. Off. All right. Just the new butts. This guy's crazy. He's trying to tell me that all of a sudden this happened in June. Okay. So this is a Vince Marino Plumbing LLC. As you can see here, this case was the roof fan. I'll be right back. I'm going to go outside.
Okay.
So with this garage door open and the exhaust fan running, the attic fan didn't interfere with the water here. So I told him to shut it off. Now, as you can see here, this is a short chimney. We're going to pull that liner out and put a roof cap on there, and then do the test again to see if it interferes, because this is it's a 4-inch liner. This is a 16 and a half by 16 and a quarter chimney, so we're going to put a rain cap on there, and that's the culprit right there. The roof exhaust, it could be too big. The homeowner did it. I don't know why he put it in. So in the meantime, I'll have more footage when we put the vent cap on here. This may have not affected this if it was a full chimney. He said the liner was put in 10 years ago, and the other ceiling fan could have been a little bit more, less powerful, I guess. Or how do you say? This one is more powerful. I don't know what happened here, but that's what caused this water heater to be negative. So, all right.
She allowed to run cold water.
Sure. Can run hot water too. So.
Trying to touch anything. You can run cold water or hot, Dorothy.
So we have this modified with a damper with 2 spill switches, more or less because the chimney's low, and this thing's operating at 0 parts per million. So this is another case where you should be paying attention to what's going on. In the meantime, this is Vince Marino Plumbing LLC in Pittsburgh. You have any carbon monoxide, boilers, water heaters? I'm a registered plumber. Problems like this, give me a call. Vince Marino Plumbing LLC.com. Arrivederci. This is Vince Marino Plumbing LLC in Pittsburgh. I was here about 2.5 weeks ago with this water heater. So we put this water heater, to be safe now, there's a Field Controls DI-1 draft inducer, okay? And we modified this originally with the damper. So what was happening was there was a liner in the chimney. The liners do not make the chimney warmer. Just real quick, keep an eye on that. So this is the old mechanism in the owner's truck. He wants aluminum. That was the liner, okay? We pulled it out. It was a 4-inch liner. We put a stainless steel rain cap on top of the chimney and reinstated the 6-inch at 6.5 terracotta flue liner. It's lined. And I put that stainless steel liner out of the chimney. Sorry, took it out. You put a stainless steel rain cap, see? So, for all you people that are HVAC, a liner doesn't make a chimney warmer. This is a 6-inch. This stops the rain and snow from going down the chimney. This is a 9-inch. It adjusts 2 inches. The clamps on the side, and it's tarred there. It's not going to come off. It's attached to the terracotta. That's a rain cap. That's the way it's supposed to be done. That's what's going to keep the heat in the chimney. So no rain, snow, anything. Precipitation. Excuse me. Precipitation. Sorry. It's a long day. It goes in there. And that hood on top stops a downdraft or a microburst. Okay. So the precipitation doesn't go in, and your liner doesn't freeze and crack. That's a short chimney now. So fuel control suggests you put that on for short chimneys. Now, if that didn't have the liner, excuse me, the rain cap, a microburst can go right down there and stop the heater from drafting. Now, what we did here when I was here before, this door opened, the water heater would combust and draft properly. So we're going to close this door first, the bathroom door. Okay, actually we're going to turn on the fan. So what was happening was the attic fan, which I showed you on the video there, I'll show you again, was pulling this flue down. This is controlling the draft. Okay, so we got oxygen 6.2, 2 ppm, is CO2, which doesn't mean is 8.30, which is good, and then T-Stack's 524. So when you put the draft inducer on a draft hooded appliance, you got to put a barometric damper, because this makes a high draft. There's a fan pulling everything in, and you don't want to cause carbon monoxide from occurring with the sealing off of the air through the draft in the flow gas. Draft hood, open draft hood. So how this works is a pressure switch there. You take the plug out and you put the plug back in on that T, fuel controls kit, and you run a wire to this box and you bring 120 volt. In this case we're using this. And then when you light the pilot and turn that on, the gas pressure turns on the power to the fan. And there's a pre-purge too. When you turn this to pilot, there's a pre-purge. Or when it shuts off, this will continue. So you can see there's no CO here. Okay. Now, Bill, I want you to close the garage door so we can test this. I'm going to run some hot water so it doesn't shut off. Close the garage and the outside door there. All right, now close that. Yeah, leave the bathroom on. I have the fan. So when this thing was running with the doors closed, it went up. It spiked. So we're going to turn this attic fan on and see if we got this under control with the air moving. So wait a second. I'm talking on the camera. So what I want you to do first, I'm going to turn the kitchen fan on. I have the bathroom fan on, okay? Turn the kitchen exhaust first. This is equipped with 2 spill switches. You can put this on 750 millivolt spark ignition, thermocouple. There's a kit. There's a kit for this. This is cheaper than taking this out and putting a power vent or electric water heater. Electric's no good to begin with. You'd be wasting your money. So what he invested here, he saved over a couple $1,000 to take the tank out, maybe $2,500. When this heater breaks, these parts will be removed and the new heater slid in, and you have a regular water heater installation minus the half hour to put those parts back on, versus $3,500 every time the power vent water heater leaks. So if you have a chimney, this is a way to do it. Liners do not make the chimney draft. Now you can see here we got the kitchen fan on, this thing's moving, so that's stabilizing the draft. This is an MG1 draft controller. This is a DI-1. The fuel controls model CK2 OFV is the control panel. Okay, so you can see that. That's a CK2 OFV. V is in Victor, F, C is in Charlie, K is in Kick, number 2, 0, F is in Francine, V is in Victor, is the control panel. And everything comes in there. I had these already on when I was here to make it operationally safe. So they give you spill switches and everything. This is where your weight would go. We don't need a weight here. So the weights are not necessary. And this thing is operationally safe. Now what we're going to do is, as you can see, the parts per million are 6.7 oxygen. Very good. Okay, you have the kitchen exhaust on, Bill?
Yes, I do.
I want you to go up and turn the attic fan on. Now, this door normally stays closed when you run the attic fan?
Most of the time.
Yeah, close this door.
It's only open when we
have your wife stand by in case I yell to you to... You said you shut the breaker off to that. Did you shut the breaker off to the attic fan or no?
No, there's a switch.
Okay. You close the door. Keep the door closed. I'll yell to you there if I want him to shut it off.
Okay.
So what we're going to do right now is verify that...
I didn't know when you turned it on.
I want him to turn it on now. Yes. Okay. So right now we have the attic fan on, the kitchen fan, okay, and the bathroom exhaust fan. We are at 2 ppm, oxygen dropped at 6.1. So this inducer is keeping up. Keep the door closed. Do you have the door closed?
Yes.
Keep it closed. So we're going to verify that this thing doesn't drop on oxygen with the attic fan. And it's a powerful fan. He put too much of a fan in here, so there's no way to stabilize it, I don't think. So our oxygen's at 5.5, 2 ppm. The oxygen dropped to 5.5. As long as it stays above that, around that, you're safe. And no high levels of carbon monoxide. It's going to 5.4. So I might have to put a weight on this. Let's see. We're going to have to put a little weight on this to adjust the draft so it keeps the oxygen, you know what I mean? So we're going to do that right now. And we should be fine. So for any of you people that are telling people to put a liner, I don't care what the code says, that's not the way to go. You don't need a liner. Any building inspectors or New York people or wherever the hell you're talking about, a liner's not the way to go. So we're going to simply put a weight on this with one weight. Let's see. If that works. So with one weight, with a ceiling fan, excuse me, the attic fan and kitchen fan working, we've increased the oxygen to 5.4. Okay, and it's going up. So we didn't use a weight here to keep this closed. So when the attic fan comes on, it's stabilizing the oxygen. Hopefully. You see how the oxygen was dropping. Before we modified this, this would go up to 3,900 parts per million, 4,000 and more. I had to pull my analyzer out of this. And this is just a water heater, okay? So if you're not, you know, doing these things, you're taking a chance. So this has been modified. This is a yellow tag from NCI. You can't get these. I'm going to put this fuel controls tag on here. That has to stay. So we were able to maintain the oxygen to 5.3. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put another weight to see if that brings it up higher. With an open draft hood on this, you would have pulled all the flue gas back down. The fan wouldn't have been enough. So I put two weights, and the oxygen, I was manually adjusting it so the oxygen moved, so it's going back up. As long as it don't go below 5, 4 in high carbon monoxide. Takes a while, so this is at 5.3, 5.4. I'm gonna run some water out of here. I'm gonna shut the bathroom exhaust. You can shut your kitchen exhaust off.
Okay.
I got it controlled.
We have the bathroom fan on too.
I shut the bathroom fan off down here. You have another one up there.
Yeah.
Shut it off.
Okay.
Leave the attic fan on, shut your kitchen exhaust, and close that door. So we had basement bathroom fan, fan in the kitchen of the kitchen draft hood, and the bathroom fan on the first floor, and the attic, and this only went to 5.3, so that's good. Now, we got this controlled with two weights. So there's a guy, a big bullshitter I call him. He's using the NCI protocol testing and guessing. That is the slogan from National Comfort Institute. I'm certified through National Comfort Institute. I have to get recredited here the first week of August. If you're a heating and cooling people and you're not using this analyzer, they don't teach you this in HVAC school. They don't certify you for it. CO safety and carbon monoxide with the combustion analyzer. You better take their class. It's worth every penny. 3-day class initially. After the before the 2 years or after your before your expiration of your certification, you sit in a 1-day class. You get another 2 years. The knowledge and books you get, it's unbelievable. So if you don't have this certification, you're taking your customers' lives at risk and their health. This company that came here, I'm not going to point to their name. 2 of their technicians sat in the class. They sent an inexperienced technician here in Pittsburgh, Cheswick, Pennsylvania, Springdale, and the water heater was putting out in the house readings on the carbon monoxide detectors anywhere from 20 to 50 parts per million. And the technician told the customer, his wife, to keep monitors of the readings. Can I have those readings, Mrs.
Do you want the reading?
Bishop? I want to read the readings on my video. I'm not referring to your name. I want to reference those. I didn't use the company's name. We have this under control.
Okay.
So you can use your attic fan now.
I can keep
Okay,
it on.
keep it
Yes,
on.
yes. Where are they at? All of them. All right, you don't have to tell me. All right. Then I'll go through it with your husband.
Okay.
So, the occurrence happened here on 6:30 of June 30th. They had 3-inch flue pipe. You can see we're at 5652. She opened the cellar door and it changed. So they increased the flue pipe to 4-inch, which was beneficial for me. They charged them $300 to take 2 sections out and put a piece of 4-inch into a 4-inch liner, I believe. Now, 7/2, which was a Wednesday, they registered 1 ppm to 52 parts per million of carbon monoxide in their residence. 17 ppm. July 3rd, 4:15 p.m. registered 22 parts. July 14th, 1:15 p.m. 29 parts. This was going on in this house. 7/5, 6 a.m. 7 parts. 7/5, 12:38 p.m. 18 parts per million. Saturday 7/5, 20 parts. And 7/6, 26 ppm. They contacted me the Monday after. And I sealed this off with tape on a drive to it, then come back and put the damper on the spill switch, and couldn't get it under control. So now this is running at 5.9 to 6 with the attic fan. This is a small house, short chimney. So the inducer and the now we're going to open this door. I want to show you the attic fan. They always had an attic fan here. He replaced it 2.5 years ago. He says it's just occurred, but I don't think so. Something wasn't working with one of their detectors. The liner was in for 10 years. They reduced it from 6 to 4-inch. And they put a 90 plus furnace. So we're going to go up here. And behind this chimney, up there, that's the attic fan. You see it? I don't want to go on the roof. And that fan is pulling everything through the house. He doesn't have no way to control the speed on it, I think he said. It's pretty powerful, I guess. So without that equipment I put, it would pull the flue gas down the chimney out of the draft hood. This was an accident, lethal accident waiting to happen. And the company that came here, they sent an experienced kid. From what I got from the owner, they were coaching him on the phone. And he left him in this condition. Now with this door open, the air's going to change. So the oxygen went up. Now, so when you close this garage door, watch what will happen here. This is a gas water heater. It's under Master Plumbers of Allegheny County. You have to be a licensed plumber to install these, so you have to know how to work on these. And I close the garage door. And I'm going to close this interior door. Can you close the door, please? Tight. Close the door. Thank you. So the interior cellar door is closed. If that's cracked, it'll help. So now the garage door is closed. The interior door is closed. The cellar door is closed, and the oxygen's at 6.1. Okay. You can see our damper is closed. to allow the draft to maintain. See? So our auction's at 592 ppm. It's pretty stable, 6. Now with the weights, without the weights, with the attic fan running, this will drop down. I don't want it to drop down below 5, 5.5, 6. We're at 6 now. So we're between 6.2 to 2 ppm. That's with the attic fan running. So I'm going to touch base on this again. There's a guy that showed this. It's wrong. You do not test for combustion analysis you test the combustion analysis below the draft hood. In this case, this is sealed. We modified this. This is legal. It's in the fuel code to make this safe. You would test here, okay? Because we connected the vent to the appliance of the water heater. Today is July 26th, 2027. I'm recording this short video on my new Sony cam. I forgot my GoPro. It was charging. So, of course, we're going to turn this light on here so we get a general idea, but see better. The video had stopped last week. It's a little bit dark in here, but I have this light, so generally you can see. So this is the water heater. The first part of the video will show that this water heater was spilling over 3,900 parts per million of carbon monoxide. And I did the draft inference test by covering the draft with tape to make it safe. Now, as you can see here, I come back and modified this to touch base. So I put the damper in, the 2 spill switches. This is legal to do. And it was working safely. Now, upon doing the test, this is not a big basement here. You can see there's no air intake, but there's air in here. Upon doing the final testing, the garage door was on and the attic fan came on here. Okay, so this is a bathroom. There's an exhaust and a window, but that stays closed. So upon finalizing the testing here, this water heater was going bad, losing oxygen and raising the carbon dioxide. So it was discovered. I'm just going to take a walk out back. Upon discovery of asking questions to the owner, he didn't tell me they had an attic fan, which I normally don't look for attic fans. We have to solve the problem. Now, this is a house in Springdale, Cheswick. So I put that, I'm going to zoom in, stainless steel 9-inch Flue, 9-inch rain cap. There was a Flue liner in here. It's in the first part of the video. Okay. Now, up there, I'm going to zoom in. You see that flat mechanism? That's the attic fan. Okay. So when that attic fan come on with the thermostat to relieve the heat out in the attic, it sucked everything in the house out too, including the water heater. Okay. So it made the basement negative air pressure. Now, with the garage door open, it worked. When you close the garage door with the attic fan, the water heater Flue would go back into the house, and the oxygen was suffocating the water heater. Now, This is a sealed combustion water heater. It's a Bradford White. I installed them too. It was only put in 2023. 5/18/23. So what had to be done here was you had to put a Flue inducer in here. If you can see back there, I'm going to get this light. You see the Flue inducer? The video is a little bit dark, but you can see. So I put that in. That's a Fuel Controls BEI-1. Goes up to 120,000 BTUs. And they give you, supposed to use to make it work, is a CK. I don't know if that's in the videos I had, because the camera died on me last week. It's a CK2CFV. F is in Francine, V is in Victor. That's the control. Now what happens here is they give you this kit, and we convert this with a pressure switch. You see there? So the gas pressure switch gets mounted on the test port where they give you on the gas valve, the water heater, the thermostat, to do your testing. And that plug goes back into the bottom of the T. There's a T there, okay? And this pressure switch gets mounted. Now, all that does is, I'm going to run some hot water, is it turns on the inducer. Okay, it turns on the inducer, and then there's a post-purge after the water heater stops firing. Now we're going to run the hot water heater out, and we're going to have this come on. Okay, right now the ceiling fan is not working. The attic fan, the door's closed here. I'm going to stand back here under the light a little bit, and it's still the same. And we have ignition. So the attic fan is on. Excuse me, I'm clustering myself. The inducer fan is on. Now when this shuts off, this damper is controlling the draft. You cannot put, I mean, they say you can. There's a plate in here that you can adjust to control the draft, but when you use this fan, you make a high draft. So it's recommended you put a gas barometric damper draft control to control the draft. This is legal to do, to take this down and seal. This is sealed with heat caulk. It's modification of the appliance. It's legal to make it safe. If this water heater was firing and the attic fan came on, which it was happening, they potentially could have had over 5,000 or higher parts per million. My analyzer stopped at 4 because all the air, the oxygen was being sucked out of this room up through the house through the exhaust fan on the attic. And it's very dangerous. This could have eventually carboned up. The intel on this situation, I call it a case, was that this never happened before. This furnace was new, I think 2-3 years old. There was a Flue liner in there for 10 years. It was a 4-inch liner, okay? I don't know if you can see here. But my light's off. Let me see if I can turn on my flashlight on my phone. Let me set this down here. Now I don't do the phones from the videos from the phone, okay? Because I edit them. So this is the we zoomed in, sorry. This is a Sony cam. So this is the DI-1 drafting system. It goes up to 120,000 BTU. Mine on 3 to 4 and I think 5 inch. Okay, so this is the Flue. There was a liner here. There's a 6 inch, 6.5 inch, whatever it is, 6.5 terracotta tile that goes up there. You do not have to put a liner. Liner does not warm a chimney. For any reps that tell people this, Bradford White will explicitly tell you got to put a liner. The liner doesn't do anything, whether it's aluminum, stainless steel. There's people in New York, you know, heating tech, oh, you got to have a liner, the condenses and this and that. That's all bullshit. I've learned this late in my career. Now, this chimney's a conduit, connects the inside to the outside. And what happens is your inside pressures and temperatures and the outside pressures and temperatures affect the draft. Air goes everywhere. Okay? So in this case, there was a draft. There was circulation to the outside. But when the attic fan came on, it reversed the flow of the flue gas and the combustion air. So the liner does not warm a chimney or make draft. It's in the book of NCI, National Comfort Institute. Now, the question was here by the owner, which was a good question to ask me. Well, if there's a power outage, you have power outages around here, what's going to happen? Well, of course, this operates with 120 volt. We have this set up with a plug. The owner gave it to me. Nobody's going to touch it. And this pressure switch works at 120 volt. So, excuse me, if the power goes out, there's nothing to worry about because this damper will affect the draft safely. You see how that worked? The water heater come out. There's a post purge now. See? The water heater shut off, and that fan's running at least 30 to close to a minute, 30 to 40, 50 seconds, it'll shut off. And that's due to the gas pressure loss in there. When the capillary sensed the temperature of water being changed to lower and turn the burner on. And it's off, okay? That's how this works. Post-purged. It's positively pushing everything up. So the question was, when the power goes out here, what's going to happen? Is this going to run and spill? Well, these are 2 spill switches. This is safer than the original design that are wired into your millivolt there, the hot wire. So if the power goes out, the attic fan's not going to come on. And if this water heater happens to cycle, this damper and spill switches will operate it safely. There's good draft. So the inducer was for the short chimney and the use of the attic fan. Now, the other question was this economically sound to do? Why didn't you just take this out and put a gas power vent water heater? You know, Bradford White like this here, the power vent furnace. Well, sure, you can do that. You got about, around here, $3,200 to $3,500. And these pipes would have to go out. The exhaust would have to go out below ground or up or out the other end of the basement. So you got a big expense. That would resolve the problem. But when the water heater leaks, you have another $3,500 or $3,200 cost. Now, this water heater is a standard water heater. When it leaks, you have a basic water heater replacement. This stuff will all stay. Only thing you got to do is take the gas pressure switch off and mount it on a new heater. So there's a big difference in using the chimney versus changing to power venting. There's a cost of over $2,000 to $2,500. So I would say this is a sound, feasible way to go. Okay. A liner does not make a chimney draft or stay warm. All that was necessary is the rain cap. Okay. So the rain cap will seal off the top of the chimney, preferably a stainless steel rain cap, and prevents precipitation, snow, water, anything, wind. It stops downdrafts that would affect coming down the chimney, sealing off the flue gas, down currents. I have that in a post on my site. So for people that don't know what the heck's going on, this is the way to do it. I advise yourself to get certified for this. Now, there's a guy in New York. I'm not going to mention no names. I don't like to embarrass people. I watch his videos. I think they're good. He's claiming that's the way he was taught to do a combustion test. So if you can see here, this is how you do a combustion test, okay? So this is sealed to the water heater. The vent is connected to the appliance now. You would drill a hole here below the damper. Okay, I specified this in another video. The way he's saying is incorrect. And I also attached a link for a book. And I'm sure the NCI instructors know this too, what he's saying, because I talked to one. He has no certification through NCI. So you would put your probe here to do the combustion test. Below the air, dilution air where it goes into the damper. Now, if this was a draft hood and this was on its legs, the probe would be put down in here. Okay? So there's a hole here somewhere. I believe I covered it with the Flue. I don't know what the hell happened. But you would drill a hole here while these are up, so you get the probe down in the burner tube, where the draft baffle is there. So you're picking up the full combustion air and gas from the bottom versus diluting it with the dilution air going through the draft. So that's how you do the test. And it tells you that for oil burning or wood burning, you don't take the combustion test from the top where the combustion air is going in, the dilution air. Okay, it goes below. In this case, it would be taken here where my finger is. I think you can see, because the dilution air is up here now. So there's plenty of air here. What was happening was the air was colliding before the attic fan came on. And this thing was going up. The reading, I think I give it to him. This one was stable. The reading, first reading was over 3,900. My analyzer, I had to reset it outside. The Testo 300, that's a good analyzer to use for this. So you can see here. Okay. So this is the final one. We were running this at 7.8 oxygen and 3 ppm. T-stack was 506. In the draft here it says 3 because I didn't actually get it down enough, but the draft was 2. So you don't have to measure the draft with this. As long as your numbers are good, according to the NCI pamphlet, instruction manual, when you're doing the combustion test, the numbers are good, you have a good draft, because a damper, no matter what's going to control that. So this is a modification of a residential water heater that was a deadly, lethal weapon. And for any of you people that, home inspectors, real estate agents, you're looking in a house and you're not checking this the right way, you're not certified, you should get certified, especially home inspectors. This thing here, it can kill you like anything else. So this simple water heater was putting out over 4,000 parts per million of carbon monoxide, which was coming back through here, okay, because the homeowner had the low-level detectors, and I think I read those. So I'm going to tell you the readings here in a minute. Hello, Mrs. Bishop? You don't mind giving me those readings that you took at the other contract? I want to refer to them in my video.
You know what? I think on your date when I heard you talking.
But the video stopped. It stopped. It didn't record.
The date that you said was July 26, 2027.
For what?
The date when you were mentioning the date.
I'm making a video today.
Yeah.
Today's the 26th. Or is it 27?
It's July 26th.
Today.
I think you said 2027 for the year instead of 2025.
No. I made him. I might have said I'll refresh that.
Yeah, you might want to.
Yeah, I want to read those readings the other contractor told you.
Well, these are the readings we took.
Yeah, that he told you to do.
Yeah.
So what happened here was, it's in the first part of the video. My second video, I'm talking on my camera. The video had stopped, so what I said is possibly missing. I'll read them. I'll give it back to you. I know.
That's a question mark on a.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
So I'm repeating this. If I repeat anything that's in the first video, just ignore it. But so this is the readings the owner was told to take. This is from a well-known, reputable heating and cooling contractor. And as far as I'm going, I'm not going to mention her name because I don't want to embarrass nobody. They had a couple of their techs in the NCI class here in Pittsburgh at R.E. Michaels, and I'm ashamed to even say the name, but I'm not. So they should have known this. Why? I don't know. So the first case was 6:30. They told her, this is what she wrote, 3-inch pipe to 4-inch. That was a $300 cost, which it had to be changed anyway to add the equipment I did. So Wednesday 7/2, 1 ppm received to 52, dropped to 17. This is in the house on the NCI monitor. They're low-level monitors. They go off at 5 parts. You can't buy them. You have to be a certified student from the institute. 7/3, 4:15 p.m., 22 ppm. Friday 7/4, 4th of July, 1:15 p.m., registered 29 parts per million. There's a question marker, I think she said. 7/5, 6 a.m., 7 ppm. 7/5, 12:38 p.m., registered 18 parts. And then at 1:10 p.m., 20 parts. This is because the water heater was running and the attic fan. Sunday, July 6, 12:15 p.m., registered 26 parts per million. So these were numbers that were only allowed to have some of them in an 8-hour period during the day, if that. I'm not going to go into that. And this was advised by the contractor that installed the Lennox, or the Bryant, sorry. Now, as you can see, they got a test port here. They did something good here, I don't know. But with this water heater, situation, HVAC here in Pittsburgh and Allegheny County, they're not licensed to install the water heater or maintain them. You have to be a registered master plumber or journeyman plumber under the deployment of a master to install these and work on these. This is not HVAC. Unless they would have a licensed plumber in the company, that's understandable. But this is all under licensed master plumber in Allegheny County, Pittsburgh. Pressure vessel, boilers, hot water, steam. The water has to be done by a master plumber, and that's the way it is. Especially if you use a heating boiler to heat your home and heat domestic hot water, it has to be a plumber to do it. Now you can see here, this is a mistake, which I just realized that now I got to tell them. The safety valve, the plumber that put the heater in, he put it up against the wall. So if that springs, I don't know what it's going to do. But anyway, as you can see, this damper is moving itself. So with the pilot light lit, whatever there is, it's still going up the chimney. The liner's removed. So a liner, whether it's stainless steel or aluminum, does not make a chimney warm or stop condensing. For any outside municipalities of Pittsburgh, other states, it's nonsense. And if you call the Bradford White people, they'll tell you specifically, because I've done it before I've got the education on this, that a flue liner is installed. They have no knowledge about air circulation, that leaks in the basement of air, tight basements, loose basements, leaking air cause draft problems. It has nothing to do with the chimney. It's just a pipe or a conduit that connects the inside to the outside. Communicates the inside temperatures and pressures to the outside pressures and temperatures. So a liner's not your solve. A rain cap is. Do yourself a favor. If you got any problems like this, get certified. Put a rain cap. Don't put a liner on a chimney to prevent the precipitation and downdrafts. What do they call them? Down currents, not eddy currents. Down currents. Like microburst. If you get air that will shoot right down the chimney and you don't have a rain cap to disperse that, you can cause serious carbon monoxide poison. There's nothing wrong with the chimney or water heater, just got to be installed and maintained properly. And the last thing on this is in, I believe, the National Fuel Code. It tells you that to make the appliance safe, you can add the gas barometric damper to modify the appliance to make it safe. Of course, I don't know what the manufacturer will tell you, but these water heaters and boilers are only tested on a 5-foot chimney in the appliance, in the manufacturer's warehouse. And then they're shipped out. So there's nobody that has a 5-foot tall chimney. And that's what's involved here that made this operationally safe. These people were here 2 times, I believe. And it's a shame. So in the meantime, one last thing. In the manual for this draft inducer, it tells you what a draft inducer will correct. So the draft inducer will correct short chimneys and low draft problems. Okay? I have another video of this on the steam boiler. It's a slant fin Galaxy if you want to look at that. But that's what the inducer will correct. Short chimney lengths and low draft problems. So in the meantime, this is Vince Marino Plumbing LLC in Pittsburgh, signing off here on another case of a deadly carbon monoxide incident that happened. And actually this identical case is in the book of the NCI course they give you, where a guy changed the furnace. I read it word for word. It's in the first video. The water heater was in the chimney, and the homeowner bought a carbon monoxide detector to start going off. It's very identical to the case that was in the book. And this is the garage door before I sign off here. That's the garage door there that we were open and close. And with it closed, with the exhaust fan on the roof running, it would suck everything. I mean, I think it's in my first video, this thing would just come back. So all the air in this room was being pulled out. There was no oxygen. This thing would just, carbon dioxide was going up and carbon monoxide. So again, this is Vince Marino Plumbing LLC, the one and only in Pittsburgh. I'm a certified combustion analyst, CO safety technician, and a registered master plumber. If you got any problems, give me a call. Vince Marino, plumbingllc.com. And you can see pictures, and this is going to be added on the YouTube for a video, which you'll see shortly. And this is nothing to fool with. This is not for any homeowners neither to do. Okay? So in the meantime, arrivederci, and stay healthy.